What's happening, guys? This is Hyper Paradox, and welcome back to Let's Play Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. As you probably would have guessed, in this video I completed the Master Thief sprints for Fire in the Sky, starting with a Perilous Ascent. And despite being the intro level, I actually think this is one of the trickier Master Thief sprints, and that's mainly because of these giant apes that shoot monkeys covered in snowballs. Another thing that makes this level tricky is that there are a lot of uphill slopes, which means you really can't use your raccoon roll as much as you'd like to. These icicle sections can also be really annoying because if you jump through the sidling sections like you normally would, they can sometimes fall on you. The reason why these monkeys are really annoying is because if they launch a snowball-covered monkey and it lands on top of you, your raccoon roll won't kill them. In fact, you'll be damaged. So it's very, very annoying to deal with. I had so many takes in which in which they landed on top of me, and what's frustrating is that I had a really good run to start with. But anyway, as for these guards up in the pagoda that shine their flashlights down at you, there really is no shortcut around them. You can't jump and sidle like you would normally would, because they will spot you. You should have around 30 seconds by the time you reach the top of the pagoda. So, and when you leave, the good thing is you don't have to go to the right to get the treasure key. You can just roll straight through to the end of the level. And there it is. That is a Perilous Ascent, the Master Thief sprint version. Pretty tricky overall. So, the next level I decided to tackle was the Unseen Foe. And you're given 2 minutes and 25 seconds to complete this one. That might seem like a generous time limit, but this level is one of the longer ones. Now, fortunately I was able to roll right past him without even noticing me, but the reason why this level takes so long is that you use your invisibility move a lot in this level. Particularly this section. It's kind of risky to do a roll because not only are the searchlights there, but the moving laser fence as well. You don't want to accidentally roll in and set off the alarm. But you just have to plan your rolls carefully when you're tackling this level. And I cannot stress this enough, you don't need to fight all of the guards in here. As for this section, double jump, turn invisible, jump again, and then strike him when you get close enough. And that will work even though the conveyor belt is moving against you. But yeah, so I avoided a couple of guards right here, and decided to climb up on the trees that way. You should have around 1 minute and 15 seconds by the time you get to this level. Yeah, this took me about, I don't know how many tries it took me, at least 15. That's how difficult these Master Thief sprints are. And I took a plunge, and I was so lucky that I fell into a pit. Because if you fall to a lower portion of the level, then there's no way you're going to complete the Master Thief sprint on time. I haven't mentioned this before, but while you're doing a Master Thief sprint, you can actually press the start button, bring up the pause menu, and restart the sprint, which is always helpful. So this pagoda is the last stretch. You should have about around 30 seconds by the time you reach the laser grid. So just jump carefully, and you should reach the end of the level. So yeah, overall, this one's a pretty tough one. Don't be surprised if it takes you a lot of tries. Alright, now the third level I decided to tackle was Dueled by the Dragon. Now, although it's still relatively tricky, I would say that it is the easiest of the 4 Master Thief sprints. And that's mainly due to why 2 to Tango was easy, because it's a chase with Carmelita. They do give you they are pretty generous with the time limit in this level. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of the jumps in this level are still tricky, but this one is generally simple compared to the other ones, because you're already constantly moving to avoid Carmelita's shots. So, fortunately she didn't destroy any of the icicles, but one firework and that thing's going down. Oh, well, never mind. Rambling again. But, really this whole level is just running and jumping. And, I got kind of stuck over here, because I couldn't remember what to do, but fortunately I remembered I had to hit the 2 fireworks to, lower the gate. And make sure you don't fall off in this level, because even though I do have the bottomless pit upgrade, it still costs you some seconds. And as we all know, a couple of seconds can make all the difference. Once again, you shouldn't really worry about Inspector Fox hitting you, because you will be constantly moving. So by the time you reach this firework platform, you should have roughly around 1 minute and 5 seconds or a minute. But one other thing, make sure you're using the C stick to adjust your view. Yeah, I almost fell off there because I wasn't adjusting my view properly. And like I said, pretty self-explanatory. It's just a chase with Carmelita. Now, don't worry about it when Inspector Fox destroys some of the platforms, because the icicles will respawn quick enough for you to jump over them. Alright, destroying the wall as well as the fireworks. And you should have about 15 seconds by the time you get to the final part of the level. And when you destroy the dragon's head with the fireworks, try and make it so that you're in the center of the platform. Then you won't waste some time getting to the exit portal. So that is Dueled by the Dragon. Overall, pretty simple as long as you look where you're going. And for the final level, Flaming Temple of Flame, this one can be really, really tricky. I thought it was definitely the most difficult sprint for me. It took me around like 25 tries before I finally got it. But the reason why this one is the trickiest is not only is it a long level and you're not given as much time as you'd like, but the security systems and the guard setup can be really awkward, especially that guard. He turns around so quickly that he can sometimes surprise you. Now, as for this area, the searchlights are pretty close together, so it's a little bit risky jumping, because you might accidentally jump into a spotlight. Now, you should have around 1 minute and 23 seconds by the time you enter the pagoda. But anyway, make sure you're jumping in the correct positions, because you don't want to accidentally land on a lower portion of the level, as I've explained before. But when you jump on this flagpole, make sure you jump on the rope at the top. Except for some reason, in repeated runs, I jumped on the rope and I fell right through it. I don't understand why, and it was really frustrating to say the least. But this firework platform, hit it, and then jump on it. That way the guard won't catch you. And even if he does, the platform will absorb the blow. So we are getting towards the end of the level. Fortunately, the end of the level, after these wall hooks, after those hooks, and you climb up this pole, there's just one laser grid standing between you and the end of the level. And it's really not difficult to avoid. And with that, we completed the Master Thief Sprint. And once you complete the Thief Sprint, you'll unlock the video. But I won't show that until the end of the project. I know, I'm a jerk. So, this is Hyper Paradox, and I will see you guys next time.
Excellent, Sly! You've beaten all the Master Thief sprints and unlocked all the designer's commentary. Check out this fascinating behind-the-scenes movie.